Hi, welcome back to StoryHive On Location, Penticton. I'm Rob O'Day, and we are live in Penticton with another incredibly inspiring episode brought to you with support by TELUS STORYHIVE. Today we're speaking with Molly, the creative genius and owner of Heart and Solace, which is a local pottery, candles, and a lot of other incredibly talented skills that Molly has put up. I want to thank you for having me and getting to speak with you. Let's dive into who you are, where you're from, and how you grew into this creative journey.
Well, I was born and raised in Penticton. I have always wanted to get into pottery. My business started as a candle company, and then it kind of evolved into just pottery. I signed up for a pottery class when I first started Heart and Solace, thinking that I could make candle vessels for the candles that I was making. And then I just fell in love with pottery, and I couldn't stop. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to spend all my time doing, and I feel really blessed that I can.
It's kind of cool to see, because knowing you from high school and then seeing that you started this just after the pandemic, correct?
Yeah, in 2021 I signed up for my first pottery class.
And in 4 years you've turned it into a business that is successfully growing. So how has that experience been for you to take this goal, this idea that you've always wanted, and turn it into your current lifestyle?
It kind of feels surreal. Like, I have to pinch myself sometimes. And it's just so rewarding to get the feedback that I get from people when they see my work and how much joy it brings them. It's pretty rewarding.
When
I'm gonna throw some things.
And that's the kind of why I'm excited. We get to see the process while we get to talk. So when you're going about it, and what was the first thing that initially made you want to, besides doing the courses, and the vessels for your candles, was there a different style of ceramics that you wanted to do, or was you gravitating strictly towards the vessels and the characters?
I always thought it was so cool to create something that somebody would use as a functional piece, like in their everyday life, and to make it something that's beautiful and that creates a spark of joy in their day. So that's why I gravitated towards like mugs and plates and bowls and dinnerware. That's where I get my most inspiration from, is creating things that people are going to use with food and their morning coffee and the rituals of daily life. I feel like I'm really connected to like humanity in that way. Like, pottery is almost as old as humanity itself, and it's really cool that I can be a part of like that history.
Mm-hmm. Kind of, we were speaking with Andrea Rivoy from Creston, who is also a ceramics artist, and she does more sculptures and stuff. She does the cups and stuff as her bread and butter, but when she started pushing out and doing these sculptures, the process is a complete different thing. So it's cool. Like, I've always wanted to do exactly what you're doing right now, where like getting to see this process is one I've been waiting like 2 years to do. So I'm like, this interview is extremely fun for me, because ceramics and pottery is one that I've always wanted to do, but I feel like my hands are too fumbly. Like I would break anything I touch if I put it on the wheel, kind of a thing.
Well, I was one of those people that like I've always been really quick to pick up things with when it comes to using my hands and creating things with my hands, but pottery was one of those things that was very difficult to learn. There was a big learning curve. A lot of it is muscle memory. Like, you have to build up the muscles to create the pieces, and for somebody that doesn't always have the most amount of patience, that was really hard for me, but I stuck to it, and I'm really glad I did.
Do you find that it's like you said, it helps build your patience, because you have to kind of force yourself to accept the imperfections that happen?
Yeah, it was definitely a trial in patience, for sure. And like, there's still times where things fail, or the whole process of pottery is I'm throwing today, and it's going to take about 2 weeks for this to be a finished piece. So potters have to be patient to see like the end result of our work.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Do you have a kiln here?
I do, yeah.
It's downstairs, I assume?
Yeah,
That's
it's
so
outside.
Cool. That's so cool that they have especially growing up we didn't have like
the
ability to do this.
There was nothing like this here, yeah.
So it's kind of mind-blowing that you're able to pick it up and just kind of go with it.
Yeah, there's definitely a bit of a like financial barrier when it comes to starting a ceramic business, because kilns are not cheap, the equipment's not cheap, and there's, electrical wiring and just lots of kind of red tape that you have to go through. But I don't know, I just kept asking if I could do it, and the road kind of opened for me. So
that's kind of perfect.
Yeah.
Do you think that because I don't want to necessarily say manifested it, but because you constantly had that drive that they saw that this is what she wants to do, let's give her the opportunity?
Yeah, I like refuse to give up, I think. Yeah. You have to do that. You can't, there's so many things that are telling you that creating art and like creating a business out of art is not gonna work. So you do have to have a bit of like, I say, what's the word? I'm sorry, I'm blanking.
No, you're good.
But you just have to be very determined and kind of push past that.
And be resilient.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to say delusional, but
I think as creatives, we are slightly delusional. Let's be real. We have this weird concept that we can create something out of nothing, and it's going to be this all-knowing thing kind of at the end of the day. And it's kind of cool that you brought up a very interesting point that I've always loved about pottery, is that it is almost as old as our culture, if not older than some cultures that are actually out there. Yeah. Because there was, I don't want to say cavemen pottery, but like after we had moved on and created these tribes, we were working on pottery and things like that. So it's kind of mind-blowing to think of how long this skill has actually been around in our conscious and being. Yeah,
and like some of the things that tell us about the earliest cultures is clay pottery. That's something that I think that it's really cool to think that maybe a piece of my pottery will be found 10,000 years from now that will be studied.
We talk about that honestly a lot on the show, is that we're in the moment. Yeah. So we don't really think about it, but like, who's to say that your pottery won't be what people recognize as BC culture in 10,000 years? And it's kind of mind-blowing to think, is like, really at the end of the day, creatives are the ones who have defined society that we look back on. When we look back on ancient cultures, we look back on what their artwork was, what their food was, and what they left behind, which is usually either weapons or pottery. You can't really go, and both of those are hand-created by artisans. So
as a non-violent person, I'm grateful that my contribution to that will be something that
pottery. It's kind of a mind-blowing aspect too, because there's so many different styles of pottery from different cultures, and to pick them up and to dive into all of those is. Do you have a style that you prefer, or that you gravitate more towards?
I like painting on my pieces, and I particularly like, I draw a lot of inspiration from like the local agriculture. I do a lot of like stone fruit pieces. It makes me think of like Italy or Spain, like their pottery with the lemons or the olives. That is kind of what I get a lot of inspiration from. And those cultures have such a great community around food as well, that I like. That's what I envision my pieces will be used for, in that same way, like in creating community.
I love that concept, because like for me it just sparks like, I wonder what local restaurants could utilize what you have as their dish sets, right? Like that would be such a cool thing to see a local artist. You have a local chef putting on food that was grown locally onto plates that were created locally and then handed to a tourist and been like, hey, this is what's the Okanagan. And that's kind of like, that's why I love where we live. We live in this area that is just absolutely stuffed full of creative people. And it's so abundant agriculturally, and the
gastronomy is very abundant as well. Which
Yes, one of my favorite pieces that I saw of yours is a heron, and it's the Hermit tarot card.
Yeah.
And as soon as I saw it, I was like, I absolutely need to get one of those for myself, because the heron has always been like if I see the heron, I'm on the right path kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And tarot cards they're just such a fascinating concept to me. And the Hermit was always one that I was like gravitated to. So when I saw that you put those two together, I was like, that cup is mine. I'm buying one of those as soon as I can.
It just felt like the right mix of, the heron just seems to be a solitary bird, or the ones that I see around here are very solitary. So,
have you ever thought of doing like an entire series of the tarots?
I'm just like slowly working my way through the major arcana at least. I don't know if I'll do the whole deck, but yeah, the main cards for sure. Yeah, somebody just ordered one. I think the High Priestess is the next one that I'll be probably working on.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
I'm watching your hands move, and it's.
See, this is muscle memory. Like,
yeah, I can see what you mean by
point,
you know exactly how much you have to pinch
the
clay on the inside and the outside so that it actually folds up into this like perfect piece.
Until you get to that point, it's just so frustrating.
Do you ever just get lost in it spinning?
Yeah. Yeah. I'll look up and then I've like finished all my pieces, and
It's crazy how fast you can go too, honestly.
Yeah, I'm
You're
definitely
quite quick with it.
Production potter. Yeah.
Are there to date, what's been the hardest thing to overcome in becoming a successful pottery artist, like ceramics technician or artist?
I think it's the putting myself out there. I felt in the beginning, I felt like I needed to ask permission to be able to sell my pottery. But the more I put myself out there, and the more people received it so well, I couldn't imagine not doing it. Yeah.
Well, that's understandable.
It's really hard to put yourself out there, and nobody gets to decide whether or not you can or you can't. You just do it, and that's all you can do.
I like that, because it is definitely a hard thing to put yourself out and put price on yourself, and that's one thing I've struggled with for 20 something years now, right? As a musician, it's hard to. We deserve X amount of money to bring all the equipment and stuff, right? You're putting in so much work, and then that's like it seems like you're doing it quick because you're skilled. You know what I mean? But
this is many hours on the wheel.
Exactly, but to get it to the point where like the finished pieces that I see over here, like they're mind blowing when you actually get to see them finished. And like you said, there's the it's a 2-week process in between.
Yeah.
Do you ever find that? Have you ever created a piece that maybe wasn't in your wheelhouse, but it was something that you're just absolutely in love with to this day, that you've never replicated or redone something like that?
Yeah, I often get requests for custom pieces, and if they're in my scope, then I'll accept them. But every once in a while, I'll get one that's like challenging and exciting enough that I'll say yes to it, even if it's beyond my scope, because it's just that thing that's going to push me a little bit farther. I had a gentleman ask me for a teapot for his wife, and he wanted me to put it was going to be like floral, so it was definitely my wheelhouse, florals on the outside, but then he wanted me to paint a meerkat on the bottom, and it was an inside joke between him and his wife. And I don't do animals very often unless they're birds. But yeah, that was fun, and it was just something else that I can say that I can do.
I can imagine a teapot's difficult too.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because when you get to the spout of it, how do you actually?
It's like a feat of engineering for sure. You have to and they fail so often. It can be really heartbreaking when you don't know that it's gonna function properly until it comes out of its final kiln firing. Mm-hmm. And you got to do the pour test, and if it sometimes the pour for teapots, it's really important with teapots is that they don't dribble, they don't spray, and that can be a challenge.
And is it the heat factor, because it's a hot liquid versus a cold liquid? Does that have a factor in
No, not with the not with the clay that I use. It's all like once I get it out of the final firing, it's all dishwasher and microwave safe, so it can handle the heat. When I fire the glaze fire, the temperature gets up to 2,140 degrees.
Oh, wow.
Celsius, or no, Fahrenheit, sorry.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, it can withstand quite a bit of
The heat itself.
thermal shock.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because, yeah, do you have to do those in, I guess you would have to do it in handle, spout, body, lid. So that's 4 to 5 pieces.
Yeah.
How do you put how do you get the spout on without it?
Without it like falling off?
More or less falling off, or like having the, like a small slight hole in it because they didn't seal together, kind of a thing. Like, has that ever happened? Where
Yeah, it can crack around the connection point. You just have to attach them when they're like with handles or anything. You have to attach the 2 pieces together when they're at the same dry level. And if one's wetter than the other, it's going to dry at a different rate than the other piece. And then that's when you get pieces like falling off, which is always disappointing.
Is that difficult to try and navigate how long? Because the body is going to take X amount of time, and then you got to do a spout, for example, and then you've got to make sure that there's the same dry consistency.
Yeah.
That's a time game that you're playing there
It
the whole
is,
time.
and then it's also like a seasonal game too, because wintertime and summertime, the air is so much drier with heat, or like outside heat or interior heat. Things dry faster, and then in the spring and the fall, things go slower, so you're just kind of learning how to manage dryness year round.
Do you tackle a lot of your building during the fall, spring kind of time?
No, I just learn to manage the dryness. Like maybe I leave it for an extra day in the spring, or I'll like speed it up a little bit in the winter or summer.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, for me, it's a really cool process because, like I said, ceramics is always one that I've wanted to dive into, but I've always been like intimidated by to physically start doing.
Yeah.
Any physical artwork is like intimidating to me. Drawing, painting, those kind of things. Like, I'm great visual with like creating video and audio, and that's where my comfort zone is. But to like watch people create something out of a ball of clay into these beautiful pieces and like cups, and it's, for me, that is the essence of being human.
It feels a bit magical to, take a lump of clay and create something that will last for thousands of years.
Right, and to be there's a handful of people who do it in the Okanagan, but I find that to be one of them is probably one of the coolest things to be.
It is, yeah. There's some pretty cool potters in the Okanagan for sure.
So when you stepped into pottery and wanting to make it a career, and then going from this is something that's helping me heal and I'm learning to being, hey, I'm really good at this and I'm gonna start selling these at the markets. How was that experience putting yourself out there for the first time?
It actually didn't take that long between me taking my first pottery class. I think I took it in February of 2021, I started. And then by May, I was selling candles at the farmer's market. And by May or June, I think, of 2021, I started selling my first mugs that I had created that were nothing like what I make now. But it didn't take very long. And people were just so kind and excited about them. It really gave me the motivation to keep going. Yeah.
I love that. Because it's like, for me, I get to speak with a lot of people I went to school with and watch them evolve throughout the years. But it's always intriguing for me to see somebody who I didn't know was creative come out of their shell, be creative, and then successful at it. So for me, it's like, knowing you for growing up in school, I never would have imagined that you'd have become a ceramics artist. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, mind-blowing, because there's a lot of people who have transitioned in different routes and picked up different artistic endeavors, which is kind of, for me, mind-blowing, because as the older I get, the more I find I want to do physical mediums. That's where I would like to learn how to do pottery, or I would love to learn how to do metalwork. That's because as a carpenter, like, I can do woodworking, and that can it's only so much fun you can have working with wood when you've done it as a career. To pick up other mediums has always been something I've wanted to, but to look and see the process like up close.
Yeah.
Because we didn't physically get to watch Andrea use the wheel.
Right.
Because she sculpts it all by
Yeah,
hand
yeah.
and makes sculptures. So that is a one avenue of it that I've always enjoyed, but it wasn't the one that I gravitated towards. What you do is what I gravitate towards, because to me it's there's something historical, there's something that's cultural about it.
Yeah.
That's just like,
Yeah, I feel like
it's us as humans.
Yeah.
Kind of like picking up an instrument. It's like you're making, to me, that making of something physical is just like, like I said, it's mind blowing to me.
Yeah, it's a very grounding practice too. Like you really have to be part of pottery that's really important is you have to center the clay, but you yourself have to be centered and grounded while you're creating it. Otherwise, things can just go sideways really fast.
I like the way you phrase that.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really valid point that I don't think a lot of people take into consideration is it is a very personal, spiritual kind of practice. Because you're taking elements from the earth, using yourself to create something with it.
Yeah.
And realistically, at the end of the day, you could do whatever you want. I guess it really just comes down to how big your kiln is.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've heard another potter say that he'll run out of ideas before he runs out of days. And I think that's really true. Like run out of days before you run out of ideas. Sorry, I got that backwards. But I think that's very true. Like there's so many possibilities of what we can do with a circle. Something I learned recently is that the pottery wheel was created before the wagon wheel. This was the first iteration of the wheel was a pottery wheel.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do they know where?
I think Mesopotamia or something.
Okay,
Yeah.
so yeah, definitely in the Middle East.
Yeah.
It's kind of a weird concept to think too. Like they just randomly one day decided to make jugs and things like that for themselves, and then that's become the norm for some cultures as like what defines them as their artwork, is
Yeah.
their ceramics, right? Like you think of Greece, and one of the main
urns,
things
yeah.
you get is their vases that
Yeah.
everyone absolutely loves.
Yeah.
Is there a specific piece that you've wanted to make but have always been like almost intimidated because the style's just like difficult? Like giant vases or things like that?
I don't know. Like I think it comes a little bit back to that delusion that I was talking about. Like I feel like I could, now that I've mastered the base of this, I feel like I could. The first version of it might not be great, but the more I do it, the better it'll get, right? Yeah, I don't know if there's anything that I want to try that I haven't tried because I'm scared of it or worried it won't work out.
That's a good thing then.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you know that you could, if you try to do it, but your skill set is there.
Yeah.
Because there's like tons of things that I know musically, I can't accomplish, kind of, but I've always wanted to, and those are like I know my limit.
I will say, like, hand building is something that I don't really have the patience for, and sculptural stuff. That's like, this is fast, and I like that it's fast. I think I would have a really hard time working on something that requires a slowness and patience, and yeah.
Does it soothe your mind, that repetitive aspect?
Yeah.
Okay, so you're
Yeah.
that's kind of like me too, where if you're
Yeah.
focused on one big piece, you kind of get bored of it or irritated with it, as where if you know that you can just bang out a bunch of these things
Yeah.
that you're comfortable with, it's a lot easier to
It feels,
just turn your brain off.
yeah, I feel good to see like a bunch of stuff all complete. Like it feels nice to have that like abundance around me, I guess. Yeah.
How many can you get done in a day? Like if you're putting yourself in here and you're saying like I want to work, say 8 hours, how many do you think you could bang out?
I usually limit it to about 50 pieces a day.
Oh wow.
Because then I have to like do the next step, and I don't like handling more than 50 mugs in a day. That's a lot. Or trimming or whatever the next step is.
How many can you fire at once?
I can fit about 50 pieces in 50 mugs if they're all the same size and shape. There'll be about 50 that I could fit in my kiln.
Well, that's not bad then. So you can bang out 50 in a day And then
Like within the
fire
week, yeah,
50
yeah.
and then paint 50.
Yeah.
Okay, so you have it in a very strategic way that you go about it.
I don't just do mugs, but that's the way I like measure my kiln capacity is because it just, that makes sense to me somehow. Yeah.
Do you build full, like I see the tea set over here, but do you have other full sets that you choose to dive into?
I do 6 different designs at the moment, and I'm kind of always changing them. Like year over year, I'll replace one of them with a new design, but I'll do a full set of every design that I do. So yeah, peaches or cherries. Those are big right now.
I love these brown ones over here, with the mushrooms on them.
I'm getting a lot of good feedback on the dark clay. Like it's almost like a terracotta.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that's another thing, because you hand paint, and when you have to, forgive me, I can't remember the other term, where you're actually putting it in the clay. What is that called again? The glazing.
Yeah, glaze. Yeah.
That's a whole other aspect too. That
decorating pieces. It can be really simple, or it can be really elaborate. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of in between, I think. Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's a good thing. And like your Penticton ones that you were talking about.
Yeah, those ones are pretty elaborate.
Yeah, and like that's a beautiful piece.
Thank you.
Like the concept of that is really cool, where you have the peach and then you have the actual like sign, which is like, that is Penticton.
Iconic Penticton scene, yeah.
Yeah, no, the other day we were at the beach, and funny enough, Amy walked up to this lady who was meditating, and I got a really good photo of them lined up perfectly with the Penticton sign.
Oh, yeah?
Lit up.
Oh, yeah?
With the sun going down and them meditating under it. And it was just like kind of exactly the same angle that you have.
Yeah.
That. And I'm just like, Penticton is, as much as like a person who was raised and tried to escape from it, I'm always like drawn back to it. And I think it's that Penticton is a very arts-based community, and I can't escape it because I love the beauty that is here.
Mm-hmm. And you were saying earlier that the valley has a lot of really creative people in it, but there's also a lot of people that appreciate creativity and art, which I think is one of the reasons why I've been so successful, is that it's been well received by those people. Yeah,
that's true. And I mean, that's difficult with such a small demographic here, right? Like we have 38,000 people maybe.
Yeah,
at this point, right? Like maybe it's gone up a little bit more, but as soon as the summer comes, I can imagine that could be selling out at a market.
Oh yeah. Well, I've heard that the population of Penticton like triples in the summer. Yeah, it's crazy how many people come through the farmers market on Saturday morning, and I talk to people from all over the world. I think I've got pottery in all continents right now, which is kind of cool.
I was going to say, how does that feel to know that you've been doing it for less than 6 years and you've got work globally?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I think you're extremely humble about it, because I think the skill set is like, if it's being sold with, I don't want to say like, not a lot of experience, because you have the experience, you've worked hard for the experience, but the timeline where people have put in like 20 years and still can't keep up with the skill level that you have.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's like, you're meant to do this, and I think it's kind of a cool concept that you found it. I don't want to say later in life, but like in the midlife.
I would have loved to have started earlier, but there was always a reason not to. Like I always had an excuse. I didn't have time, or I didn't have the money to invest in classes or the equipment. So when my son's dad and I split up, I just decided I wanted to do something just for me, and this is that.
Does he ever do pottery with you?
Yes, he does. My son, yeah.
Yeah, how's that?
There's a few pieces of it around here.
That's
he likes
cute.
it. I don't think he quite understands that. Maybe it's not, but he doesn't understand that it's pretty cool to have a mom that does pottery.
Oh.
I think it's just like a normal thing for him, but and that he has access to it. But he does enjoy it. He likes to sit at the wheel, and I'll center the piece for him, and then he'll pull the walls, which is what I'm doing right now. And yeah.
I think that's absolutely beautiful, because the whole point of our show is to inspire the next generation.
Yeah.
So, and it is kind of like, if you have a parent who is creative, you take it extremely for granted.
I think it's, but also it creates that possibility where I didn't have that growing up, where I had a parent that was doing something like this. And I think if I did, it would have just been, because it was normalized in my life, it would have been easier for me to pick up and start.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Yeah, my mom, I was raised with a mom who did music, so that's why I gravitated
cool,
towards
yeah.
it. And she is actually the one who showed me how to book shows, and so that's why I always just dove into that. But it was, if I would have seen the other practices that she has, because she does stained glass.
Oh, cool.
And that was
yeah.
one that always was like, how do you do this? And it's like so beautiful, and it's like being involved with a creative parent makes you want to be creative.
Yeah, and it opens up the road for you, like you said, booking shows. It's not something that's like easy to figure out on your own.
Or picking up play,
yeah,
right?
or
it's
like
not,
signing up for a market, or yeah.
So, and I think that's a wicked thing that you're giving him that experience at a young age, so that he is successful in any avenue he chooses,
Yeah,
whether
yeah.
it's creative or not,
Yeah.
right?
He wants to be a mechanic, so I don't know.
That's a honestly, with
yeah.
the younger generation not understanding vehicles, and vehicles becoming more computerized,
Autonomous.
yeah, autonomous and stuff like that. That having somebody who understands mechanics at a young age, that's a magical thing. Honestly, I think that is a really cool thing that he aspires to. What's been your biggest hurdle to overcome getting to where you are right now?
It was the learning curve for sure, and like being able to create at the capacity that I can create now. Like, you can only sell as much as you make, right? So that was a bit of a hurdle, because I had to spend a lot of time learning the wheel and invested a lot of my time and energy in that. And I wasn't really able to work a second job while I was doing that. So I really had to like trust that it was gonna come together in the end. And I'm really grateful that I did invest that time, took that leap.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's hard to do it for yourself.
Yeah.
And when that's all you have,
Yeah.
like there is no other option,
Yeah.
you kind of have to go full bore and put
Yeah.
all your faith into the universe.
Exactly, yeah. Which is, I think, one of the reasons why I was, like, the determination that you have as a single parent that needs to, like, put food on the table and pay rent and, you know, live in this capitalist society that we live in. That's a lot of pressure that I had on me, but it created the drive to arrive at this point. Yeah.
It's a magical thing to see what somebody will do or is possible of doing when they're pushed into a corner.
Yeah.
Kind of a thing, you know? And I think that really, I don't know who said it to me recently, but I think it was my uncle or something. He had mentioned that the only time you can really see how strong you can be and what you can accomplish in life is when you hit rock bottom, and you have to do it yourself. If there's always people helping you up, kind of a thing, you're never going to be able to see what your potential is.
Yeah, you have to get uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
It can't be, yeah, if you live in the comfort of things being done for you all the time, then that's, you're never going to grow.
When you're going about watching, like, I'm watching you make it even, where when you watch it spin, it actually doesn't wobble. And you make it seem like it's absolutely easy. But how difficult is it to actually get it to be centered and completely equal on each side?
Now it's not difficult. If you asked me 4 years ago, I would have been, you know, I used to clench my jaw when I was doing it. Like, it was really, I would be sitting at the wheel for a couple of hours, and then I'd get off and my jaw would be all sore, and I didn't realize I was doing it. It's really challenging to, like, because it's almost like micro movements, like small muscles in your arms that are creating the pressure to make it centered. Yeah. But now I do it so often that I don't think about it. Like, it's not even a thought.
Yeah, because you're casually having a conversation with me, and I'm watching you do your hands are moving, and you can watch like the subtle I don't know if the camera can get the inside of where your thumbs, your fingers are pinching.
Yeah.
But like watching the process, it's a lot more difficult and and like intrusive than I thought it was.
When potters know what they're doing, we make it look so easy, which makes it so frustrating when you're first starting, because you think that it's going to be just as easy.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite amazing to watch, because like I said earlier, I've got to speak with so many different artistic mediums, and the only one I've always wanted to sit down and watch was pottery, because this is a skill that I think is, I don't want to say a dying skill, but 100% is something that the younger generation I don't think fully understands that they could do this.
I didn't think there was space for me in this world at all. I thought, yeah, there's so many established potters here in the Okanagan. I had this preconceived notion that because it had already been, or it was already being done by somebody else, that meant there wasn't room for me. But it's the exact opposite of that. Like, there is space for everyone, and because you can see somebody do it, it's like we were saying with having a parent that does a creative field, it just opens up the space for more, the possibility.
It's so true.
Yeah.
Would you ever take on an apprentice? Would you be a teacher?
I have a young teen that does help me. She attaches handles and stuff. She does some stuff around my studio. I don't teach all that much, although sometimes I'll sub for the teacher at Donut House here.
Okay.
But I get the most joy from just sitting down and losing myself in the production of. I
was gonna say you're the true artist, as where it's like, let me just do my thing.
Yeah.
And then you can enjoy it after.
It's like I said too, it's the challenge of, like, because it's become so intuitive to me, I don't know if I could teach that to somebody else at this point. Yeah. I don't think I have the capacity to do that.
I'm quite open. I don't have the patience to teach people. I'm because I like to learn things as quick as possible. Yeah, I have a hard time teaching people that it takes time to do, because I'm like,
that's my challenge
too. Yeah, that's where I've always I've steered away from being a teacher with music or things like that, because I know I'm a terrible teacher, and I accepted that years ago. It's cool to see the tools that you use.
Yeah.
So that is what smooths out the edges on the outside.
This is called a rib, which is one of the reasons why it's called a rib, is that they used to use like animal ribs to shape pottery. So now we use silicone or wood. That's more common. But yeah, fun fact for you.
Yeah, no, like, then that's where, like, understanding the history of pottery is a very valuable thing. We were speaking with Clint the other day. He is a metal artist. He used to be a tattoo artist, and he was talking about the history of tattoos.
Oh, yeah.
And how people don't understand the actual historical aspect of tattoos. Yeah. They just kind of like tattoos for what they are. But back in the day when you were becoming a tattoo artist, like, one of the main things you learned before you ever touched a pencil or a needle was the history. Like, you dove into the history of tattooing, so you understood what it represented. And I think that's kind of anything that is a true concept with every art style, except for music, because music is a constantly evolving thing. You can't really go back to where it started. But, like, understanding the history of pottery and where specific techniques and even different styles can cross over, right? Because you look at a piece from Italy and you look at a piece from Greece. Yeah. Different times, different periods, but there are so many similarities, but so many differences, and they're beautiful.
Or, like, the meticulous creation that goes behind, like, Japanese pieces, and how they just, I don't know how they do that. You need a lot of patience for that.
Yeah, there's something about Japanese culture and any art form that they put out that is, and I think it is
it is really inspiring.
They have that, like, that respect and what is it? The determination to be successful and to do it perfect every time, as where a lot of other artists are like, it's a little off, it's okay. Yeah. Japan doesn't do that. They don't raise you like that. It seems to be more
about the process than the final product when it comes to, in Japan, I find, like, that in itself is the art. is the process.
It's kind of the same way you do it, though.
Yeah.
You being fully involved in it and like consciously being into what you're making kind of is
Yeah.
more the art than the process of painting it at the end, right?
Yeah, I suppose.
Because that's just decorating.
Yeah,
But it's the shape of what you're creating, which is what separates you from everybody else.
Yeah.
Because your shapes are different. Like you can find coffee cups and jars and things, but I love the way that this is shaped.
yeah. Like it's harder to mass produce wheel thrown pottery. It's not like you're not going to find it in a big box store.
No,
like
that's
this.
right. And that's where it's like, I would love to see like almost wine glasses made.
I do wine tumblers. I don't do goblets with like the stem.
Okay.
Which that's one thing that I think I'll try soon is the stem. That can be a bit of a challenge
I was gonna
because they
say.
want to like sag in the kiln. But yeah, I do tumblers that have like a little thumb indent, and they're meant for wine. And the clay, like the pottery, is meant to kind of regulate the temperature of the wine as well. It's supposed to be the superior way to drink
That's
wine.
why I was going to say, because as a person who dove into wine history and wanted to be a sommelier, you definitely do understand that clay is a valuable thing, and that's why they always had clay and wine in history, right?
Yeah.
Until obviously bottles came around, but
Yeah,
it's
and
even
glass
then,
became easier to mass produce.
yeah, exactly, and there is a flavor aspect to it too. Like it
Yeah.
definitely doesn't take it away from it because you're adding more minerals to it in a weird aspect.
Yeah.
That's where I find wine has always been like a unique aspect of human culture, and it also falls in with art and
Yeah.
everything else. And it's quite mind blowing to think about how things evolve over thousands of years, and that now you're sitting here in the Okanagan creating pottery that's being sold at the farmers markets, and it's like it's just kind of as life goes on, it's nice to see the evolution of these art forms, kind of a
Yeah.
thing. And I'm always curious to see like which artists are going to push it to a next level, and see like what hasn't been achieved yet, and they can create and be
Yeah.
like, this is the new norm.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like I wonder want to know what happens in the future.
Yeah.
Instead
Yeah.
of
What's
sitting and
next?
waiting. I don't have the patience
Yeah.
to sit and wait.
Something that's happened in the last like 20, 30 years is that the colors of clay have become a lot more, or glaze have become a lot more vibrant at the firing level that I fire at.
Mm-hmm.
So it creates a piece that is more stable, like it's going to withstand heat and water and like microwaves and dishwashers or current or modern life, but it won't lose that vibrancy
Yeah.
as quickly as
Like the
some people
peaches
might. Yeah.
kind of a thing. Yeah, like those are bright
Yeah.
and beautiful.
And
Yeah.
it's really fun to play with. So much possibility too, the color.
I guess, yeah, whatever your mind, when it comes to like the shapes, your mind can create anything, and then the colors, if you're thinking ahead of it when you're creating the shape, you can probably create some pretty magical stuff at the end of the day.
Yeah, I don't always think ahead, but
I think that's the artist though, right? I don't think any of us really think ahead.
I think I play and then I come up, like in that play I find the shape that I like and then I'll stick with that. But
Have you ever designed, like, are there any designs of your work that you've created that nobody else has?
what do you mean?
Like
the
shape-wise?
shape-wise?
Yeah, like you're like, this is my cup. This is Molly's shape of coffee cup kind of a thing.
I don't think so. I think that has been like, I don't know if there's
Is it hard to even
any shape
push it?
that hasn't been. It is hard to push it because there's just so many creative potters out there that have created so many different shapes and sizes of. Yeah, what I do a lot of is what's called a belly mug. So it's got the belly on the bottom of it and a thinner
Yeah, I love it. I love
thinner top.
I
Yeah,
love it.
people say that it keeps the beverage warm longer too. So.
And I feel like it wouldn't be as easy to spill.
Yes, that's also feedback that I get.
Yeah, because most of my favorite coffee cups are this shape, and that's why I'm
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I definitely enjoy the shapes that you're putting out.
Yeah.
And It's kind of mind-blowing to see because you have a bunch of different shapes too.
Yeah.
Is this one of the wine ones you're talking about, the tumbler right here?
Yeah, the one that you can see right
Yeah,
there.
that's so cool. I definitely like that concept.
Yeah.
Because I definitely don't, I hate the holding of the stem.
Yeah, yeah.
The fancy, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like,
And I didn't want to just
wanna hold
do
it.
a bowl like the goblet of a wine glass, because it's really hard to hold that, especially I've got small hands, so it makes it hard to hold. So people really like the ergonomic thumb indent. Yeah.
Fair enough. In your time of becoming a ceramic artist and potter, are there any other styles of art or things that you would like to dive into eventually?
I was really into watercolor painting before I got into pottery. And also, when I first started decorating my own pieces of pottery, I would create lino cut prints and then transfer that onto my pottery. And I really enjoy the process of lino cut art, like carving away something to reveal something else.
Okay.
I think, yeah, that was fun. I haven't done that in quite a while.
Have you ever, I guess you do because it's kind of there. I was going to say like carving into it and shaping and like adding like features that come off the cups.
Yeah, like carving away. I think that would be fun to try in the future. Is to take a mug and then carve something into it. That more than sculpture.
Like adding to it,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
take away.
yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely, I feel that I'm the same way where it's like if you take away, subtraction is a lot easier than adding.
Yeah, yeah.
To something.
Like revealing it instead
And that's,
of.
yeah, that's where I've always been like, I don't understand ceramic artists who can build these elaborate, like decorative sculptures. I'm just like, how
Yeah,
do you
it's
do that?
amazing.
It doesn't, my brain can't comprehend it.
Yeah.
Like I can understand like gaining the muscle memory to be able to do what you do and taking the time to learn it, but to be like visually just be like, oh, I know I'm making this statue that has like 8 arms and things like that. I'm like, that to me is just,
It's mind
that's alien.
blowing.
Yeah, that's
yeah,
alien.
it's really cool. That's fun.
It's when you're at them farmers markets, are there other people who are, I don't want to say competition, but are there other potters down there as well?
Yeah, I don't really see them as competition. I know you are not saying that, but because we all have a very unique style, and people tend to collect things. Like they'll gravitate towards my stuff if they connect with it, or they'll connect with somebody else's pottery. I think throughout the summer there can be as many as 6 potters at the farmers market.
Are they all from Penticton?
In and around, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But I don't find that it, it decreases or increases my my sales at all. I find that people just get really excited about pottery as it is. Yeah, I think it elevates the market. If I am, in my biased opinion.
Yeah, because I mean, then they're able to see multiple forms
Yeah.
and make that choice if they choose yours versus somebody else.
Yeah.
I can imagine that the farmers market here is a fun experience.
It
being
is,
an
yeah.
artist on the level that you are,
Yeah.
where you get to sell your art and speak to people and they're appreciating it.
Yeah, I've made a lot of connections through the farmers market with other vendors, and also like just through the community. It's been a great opportunity.
Have you ever done other farmers markets other than Penticton's?
I used to do the Naramata market every week. I'm unfortunately going to have to let that one go this year because I can't produce enough if I lose that time. So I'm going to be spending that time in my studio instead. And I've done the Peachland market too, briefly.
How was the Peachland one?
It's a nice location. They're right kind of on a park near the beach.
Okay.
Yeah. But it's a little bit far to go. And when I was doing it, I think the landslide happened and blocked the road. So.
Oh, fair.
Yeah.
And I can imagine traveling. I didn't even think about it till just now. Traveling with pieces is probably a difficult thing.
It's a little nerve-wracking. I mean, yeah, it is insured, so I'll be okay. But yeah,
Yeah, that's
all
one
the
thing.
clay projectiles in the car when I'm driving.
Right. I don't think people take into account the difficulty of transporting said artwork too.
Yeah.
We've
yeah.
spoke with my buddy Mike. He's does all the stained glass around town right now. He's got pieces at like the Groove Yard and stuff.
Oh, cool.
But he does these massive, elaborate pieces of stained glass that are like chairs and giant sculptures, and just like thinking about how to transfer those is like the stress level that you guys have just to show your artwork. As we're like, I just show up with a guitar, play. You have to show up with like all these things that could break.
Oh yeah.
If you hit a speed bump too fast.
Yeah, and pottery isn't light either. I don't know. It's pretty heavy to like pack everything and cart it around. So yeah, it's a big job.
Do you think you'll ever have to, as you're pumping out all these units and then selling them out, and you're going to have to like, at one point you're eventually probably going to have to either fully just constantly be pumping them out and then making online, or being able to focus online and having a team that helps you?
Yeah, I actually do have people that help me. Like I said, that that teen that comes after school some days, and my grandma and my aunt also are a big part of. They help me glaze. They brush the paint on the inside of my pieces, and I think they love it. I love having them around. So yeah, it's I'm already like kind of creating a bit of a team. As time goes on, I'll probably expand a bit more. I'm just always trying to find ways that I can get help that doesn't eliminate my ability to create. Like I want to have my hands on every piece. Like I don't want to lose that part of it. But there are spaces for help for sure.
Right, like it's hard to delegate where your time is going. If you have to be at the market, it's hard to be putting on building pieces.
Exactly.
That's that's where I think every entrepreneur is eventually gets stuck with that. Do we expand?
Yeah.
Do we grow?
Yeah. And what are you willing to let go of? And yeah.
No, and that's probably one of the hardest things is it is your baby at the end of the day. Like this is a part of you, and
my second child.
Exactly, and to hand it off and trying to trust somebody with your child is a bit of a leap of faith. So it's hard to find people.
Yeah, I'm pretty grateful that I have people that I can trust already, that I can, and that seem to get so much joy out of helping me as well.
Well, it's such a soothing experience. Even sitting here watching you do it, I'm like 100 times more calm than I was when I showed up.
Me too. Yeah, I'm calm.
Right? It is a very, like, I can understand what you mean by like it's a very grounding, soothing experience, and centering yourself. Like, I feel like it's the perfect art form to come in and just lose yourself. Whereas where a lot of the other art forms, you're like stuck in your mind with colors and painting and this, and you're just like physically just like.
I don't really need to think about anything except for what I'm doing. Yeah. And
at the end of the day, if you really didn't, you could just crush the clay, pick it up, and put it back into a ball, and then start over again.
Exactly.
And that to me is one of the best things, because restarting is a great thing. We were speaking before we hopped in that like a restart is a great thing.
Yeah.
And sometimes when you're like so hyper focused on putting out the same pieces, like who knows if what mistake that you do ends up being like this beautiful creation. All of a sudden you're like, I just created a new style. And you know what I mean? Like there's never a limit to what creatives can do. And I'm like, it's where I enjoy getting to sit down with different like-minded people and pick their brains about the art they do, because each person picks up art for a different reason and has a different form of expression and what it means to them at the core of what they're doing. And it's kind of, I love getting to see people that I grew up with being creative and being successful at what they do, because that is always what I loved about the Okanagan. Growing up with like the Hog's Breath. Like we grew up with Shane Koizen telling poetry at a coffee shop.
Yeah.
And nobody was there. Yeah. And the guy has been on tour with the Dalai Lama.
Yeah, and was at the Olympics, the Canadian Olympics. That was so cool.
We watched him start his career in Penticton at a coffee shop. And it's like, Penticton I
saw one of his first shows too in Penticton.
Right, cool. And it's, especially our age demographic has been brought up around this extremely beautiful arts industry in the Okanagan. And it's only expanded and continue to expand. And I always have this like weird vision that me and Paul Crawford have talked about it, that like there's towns in Canada that are like, we're the statue capital of Canada. Penticton is the arts capital of Canada. I don't
Yeah,
care what anyone says. You cannot beat the artistic abilities that come out of this a town, but the valley.
I'm excited about, I saw the other day on the beach, they took down all the artwork that they, like all the statues that they've got along there. And I think in the next couple of weeks, they'll be putting more stuff up. But yeah, I'm excited to see what's next.
When they switch out the things, I love that, especially the cul-de-sac.
Yeah, that would be something that I would think would be a really cool challenge, is to create a piece of public art that embodies the Okanagan and have it presented in that way, like a public art piece.
Like you doing it or somebody else?
Yeah,
I'd love to see that. That would be so cool.
Some
How
sort
would you
of
do that though?
mosaic, tile work or something. Yeah.
Well, that's one thing when we spoke with Andrea. She's funny enough. She was retiling her studio, and she's just doing all the tiles herself. And you're like, what?
That's really impressive.
You're making the tiles yourself. Like, to think that that's like, oh yeah, I could tile my entire house by myself and create it.
Yeah.
The sky's really the limit to what you're able to create with clay, and that's where it's like, I think people don't understand fully how like beautiful this art form is. They just kind of look at it, oh yeah, it's a coffee cup.
Yeah,
no,
for the functionality of it, right?
More than just a coffee cup. Like,
people say coffee tastes better out of a ceramic handmade coffee mug.
Well, yeah, because you're drinking from the soul of the artist. Like, that person put in all this love and energy into your cup that you're enjoying the love of your coffee for.
I love thinking about how many people are sitting in the morning with one of my cups and just starting their day that way.
Well, I'm buying a set for sure. Like, I know I'm gonna be getting coffee cups, because like that is my ultimate addiction, is coffee. Like, I have a coffee in my hand at all times. I don't drink water. I tell people my water intake is bean water, is caffeine. Yeah. And it's, I don't know, I just love it. And there is something magical about a handmade cup. My favorite cups have always been, my favorite cup was actually a elephant cup that I bought from a artist out of Nanaimo.
Oh, cool.
And it like
was it sculpturally?
Yeah,
oh,
like
cool.
like the ears were there, and like the trunk was the handle of the coffee. So you're like drinking out of it, and it's just like, you're like, I love this. I don't care if it cost me money, but it's like my favorite coffee cup, because like every time I drink this coffee cup, there's a love versus just like the one I bought from Walmart or something. So there is
you get that little
connection.
spark of like just connection for sure.
It is definitely a process that I don't think people, like I said, really fully understand how much goes into what you do, because it's not just like done.
Yeah, no, it's
right?
not. Yeah,
like you said, there's a week's process. Like it probably takes 3 weeks minimum to put out a coffee cup.
Yeah, it can. Yeah, I can probably sneak it into 2 weeks, but yeah.
But with drying and curing, and everything, like it's not it's not an easy skill form, and that's kind of where you got to learn what you're good at and what you're not good at. And I think that you've mastered that very quickly.
Well, thank you.
As we're like people we've spoke with that have been doing this for like 20 years are like, yeah, I'm still trying to figure out what I'm good at. And you're like, I pump these out because I'm good at that. So it's good to know your skill set and where you're comfortable.
And I know that there's lots of room for improvement too. I'm excited to see where it takes me from another 5 years, 10 years. I can't see myself doing anything else. So, yeah.
If you were to give any advice to an aspiring artist who would like to pick up pottery and build a career off of it, what advice do you think you would give them?
I would tell them to be patient with themselves. They need a lot of hours on the wheel, and there's nobody out there that's like giving out permission to start. You just have to do it. Yeah.
No, it's very true.
Take the leap.
Yeah, and I think you're a great example of that, because within, I want to say 5 years, I guess it'd be 5 years, 2021 to now, you chose to pick up something that you never thought you could, do it, build a career that is feeding your child and you, and you're happy with it. I think you have achieved something that every single person strives for, which is it's a very magical thing, because at the end of the day, when you do it for yourself and the people you love, I think that resonates more than if you're doing it for money. And I think that's why people kind of gravitate towards your art and maybe enjoy it as much because of that connection is deeper
Yeah,
than most
yeah, I
other
suppose.
people.
Yeah, thank you. That's really, yeah.
Well, I see it, and I see that there's a passion. Like, you are passionate about what you do, and watching you do it, there's a love for you do when you do it. You can see it. It's the same way I see a painter when they're putting the paint on the canvas, and they're just doing these slight little strokes of like highlights, and you're just like, there's a spark in there, and that spark is what I want to grab and give to the next generation, because my biggest fear is young kids aren't going to pick this up.
Yeah, yeah.
That's why I was asking, like, does your son do it? Because at the end of the day, we have to be as creatives, we have to be the ones who are inspiring the next generation, or we're just left with AI.
Yeah.
That's my biggest fear. So I want to thank you for your time.
Oh, thank you.
It's
I'm
been-
sorry, my hand's covered in
I don't care. It's been amazing getting to watch this, and how
cool.
quickly you can pump these out is quite mind-blowing. And I would love to come do a course one day, because
Yeah.
this place is amazing. Where can people find you if they want to?
I'm always at the Penticton Farmers Market every Saturday. My website is heartandsolace.ca. You can also, I do post a lot of like videos, process videos on my Instagram as well, which is at heart.and.solace. Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you again. This has been
thank you.
absolutely incredible, and hearing your story has been kind of mind-blowing.
Oh, cool.
So if you would like to
Thanks for having me.
Oh, no worries. If you would like to be a guest on the show, there will be a QR code at the bottom of the screen that you can scan, and it'll take you to a form to fill out, and we will be in contact with you. I'm Rob